a new coronavirus strain, has just been discovered inside a cave in Thailand. And while health officials say there's no reason to panic right now, the details are still catching attention across the region. Researchers found the strain, known as clade B, in horseshoe bats living inside an artificial cave in Chachoengsao province. What makes this discovery important is not just the virus itself, but the fact that scientists say it can bind to the human ACE2 receptor. That's the same pathway used by SARS-CoV-2, the virus behind COVID-19, to enter the human body. Thai authorities moved quickly to calm concerns. The country's Department of Disease Control said there are currently no human infections linked to this strain. Officials also stressed that studies so far show the virus appears far less dangerous and far less transmissible than COVID-19. That distinction matters, because in virus surveillance, the ability to infect human cells does not automatically mean a virus can spread efficiently between people. Scientists monitor these strains closely, precisely, because many animal viruses never become a human outbreak. Here's where the story becomes more interesting. This discovery did not happen because there was a public health emergency. It came from routine disease surveillance. In other words, researchers were actively looking for potential threats before people started falling sick. That reflects how much global health strategy changed after COVID-19. Before 2020, many countries focused mainly on reacting to outbreaks. Today, there's far more emphasis on tracking viruses early, especially in wildlife populations known to carry coronaviruses. Bats remain one of the biggest focus areas because they naturally host large numbers of viruses without becoming seriously ill themselves. And Southeast Asia sits directly inside one of those monitoring zones. The region's dense wildlife ecosystems, expanding urban development, tourism movement, and human contact with natural habitats create conditions where animal-to-human transmission risks are taken very seriously by health experts. What also stands out is how Thai authorities handled the announcement. Instead of hiding the discovery or downplaying it completely, they publicly released information while also explaining the current risk level. That balance is important because public trust during health scares often depends on transparency. At the same time, officials reminded people to avoid direct contact with wild animals, especially bats, and to stay away from animal waste or damp, contaminated areas. They also advised basic precautions like hand washing, cooked food, and protective gear for people working near high bat populations. Some viewers may hear new coronavirus and immediately think another pandemic is coming. But experts are not saying that right now. In fact, Thai health officials specifically stated that the risk of an outbreak remains low based on current evidence. Still, the bigger issue may not just be this one strain. It's the reality that scientists are continuing to discover new viruses in wildlife all the time. Most never become a serious human threat. But COVID-19 showed the world what can happen when even one virus successfully adapts and spreads globally. That's why surveillance matters so much now. Not because every discovery means danger, but because early detection gives countries more time to prepare, study, and respond before a crisis develops. And honestly, this may become the new normal for the public. More reports about newly identified viruses, more monitoring, more discussions about zoonotic diseases crossing from animals to humans. The question is whether societies can stay informed without swinging between panic and complacency. Do you think governments today are more prepared for future virus threats compared to before COVID-19? Like, share, and subscribe to 2230.